Welcome in. We will be watching banned and controversial foods. Now, my automatic immediate take is mayo is disgusting, but I have a real one. I learned about this food long ago, and it has disgusted me ever since. Edible bird's nests. Look at how disgusting this is. Edible bird's nests, also known as swallow nests, are bird's nests created from solidified saliva. This is solidified saliva, and I'm going to scroll down, and you're probably going to vomit. I know I am. Look at this. They make a soup out of it. Brother, I can't. We got to get out. Let's watch this damn video. It is by Salmonella Academy. Should be good. I kind of wonder if he's going to show it. He should. Oh, balut. Balut as well. Shout out to the Filipinos. We can't be allowing that stuff, with all due respect.
Hey Majors, so I'd like to start off with a little biology lesson. When a species finds itself living on an island, it can start to evolve in strange ways based on the different pressures applied by the new environment. This is called island syndrome, and while it can manifest in a lot of ways, the biggest driving force is often a lack of predators. For example, the dodo lost its ability to fly since there was nothing to flee from. The Saint kilda field mouse got twice as big since it no longer had to hide. And with no one around to bully them, the Sardinians started putting maggots in their cheese. Meet Kazumatsu, literal translation, rotten cheese.
I know about this. This is disgusting. This is like the biggest L to come out of Italy, with all due respect.
It's made by taking a perfectly good wheel of pecorino and letting a special type of fly...
The number one cheese, by the way, Pecorino Romano sweeps Parmesan. If you're going to eat some grated cheese, get Pecorino Romano, not Parmesan.
lay eggs in it. The fly babies then work to partially digest the cheese, rendering it goopy and wet and maybe quite tasty and worm-filled. Now, cheese as a concept is already quite suspect. It's clotted milk that you fill with bacteria and mold and let sit for a while. But cheese is safe and...
Yeah, when I was a little guy, cheese like kind of disgusted me, I'll be honest. It still does in a way. Certain cheeses certainly still disgust me, but you know, I've matured. I'll eat some Swiss cheese every now and then.
delicious. Cheese is my friend. I trust cheese. So my guard would be down around Kazumatsu. I've learned to look past a cheese's childhood. Strange upbringings are what give them their character. But it turns out, those maggots are still alive. And if you don't chew well enough, they can cause enteric myiasis, which is a fancy term for fly larvae living in your intestines. Symptoms are similar to food poisoning, except with the added psychic pain of...
Is it worth it, dude? Is it even worth it?
knowing that, again, your bowels are full of squiggly new friends. It's for this reason that Kazumatsu is banned in the EU and elsewhere. A black market
rare EUW. Well done, EU. Proud of you. For once.
still exists, which is wild, and it's not a small one. In 2019, the illicit Kazumatsu trade was estimated to be worth 2 to 3 million euros annually. Personally, I would just do it prohibition style, like definitely don't put these fly eggs on this sumptuous wheel of pecorino. But if you do, you absolutely shouldn't keep it warm and damp for a week. But although it's traditional to leave the larvae alive when you eat your mag and cheese,
listen, if you guys have never actually seen this cheese, I want you to understand how lucky you are that this is like animated and you're not seeing the actual larva like wiggle around in there. It is terrifying. It's not a good time.
Some consumers still prefer them dead, shockingly. In that case, one puts the cheese in a sealed bag, and when the maggots run out of oxygen, they writhe around and fling themselves all over the place.
They have tech to kill the bugs in your cheese. That's sick.
This is heard as a distinct pitter-patter against the walls of the bag, and when the sound stops, the contents are ready to eat, like popcorn. Shark fin soup is one most of us have heard about already, mostly in...
Well, that's going to be hard to top. Would you rather eat the wheel of cheese with a bunch of maggots in it or bird saliva soup? Oh, damn. Don't even answer that. Don't even answer that. Never mind. Let's just watch shark fin soup.
Reference to its effect on shark populations and the wastefulness that goes into making it. Until recently, though, I never looked into the nature of the dish itself. I figured, right, the fins are just the only part of the shark worth eating. Big whoop, it's probably not much different from, like, swordfish. Apparently, though, I had it backwards. Shark fins aren't even meat. They're made almost entirely of cartilage and collagen.
Brother, what? That's crazy. Isn't, like, shark fin eaten by rich dudes in China as, like, a Viagra supplement? Isn't that what shark fin is for?
The last part we should be eating. That's why it's only made into soup, because without being soaked in broth, it has zero flavor or nutritional value on its own.
I'd 100% eat this over bird's nest soup.
Only redeeming quality is their unique mouthfeel due to how stringily the collagen grows, in structures called ceratotrichia. The texture has been described as somewhere between chewy and crunchy, which I find describes most things, actually. Other adjectives present on Wikipedia include snappy, gelatinous, and sinewy. The exact...
You know what? I'm kind of a texture lad. Ugh. Yeah, I mean, there's no W here, but of the big three we've spoken about, this is probably the least terrible.
The exact sensation of eating this substance remains a mystery to me, and the unintended side effect of all this research is that I now really want to try it. Like, it's a big trade. I've got to be the one that's wrong. There is imitation shark fin soup available, but I've already decided that it's not nearly as good. So I've come up with a compromise to this controversy. Everyone on Earth gets just one bite. Say there's 10 bites to a fin, 4 fins to a shark, 200 million sharks die. Sure.
Oh, I'd be salty if I didn't get the top fin. If I ordered shark fin soup and I did not get the top fin, I would be so upset. Because in my head, these aren't fins. These are like little flippers, you know? And this is a tail.
Or a necessary casualty, but then we can end the practice forever. All done. You can finally rest, Mr. Ming. Come here, baby. Aww. Aki. What? Aki. Where? Aki. The aki is a fruit originally from West Africa, which is most commonly associated with Jamaican cuisine,
If there's no weird bug in here, I'm chilling. I'm eating this.
where it appears in such dishes as ackee and saltfish. These alien kidneys here are called the arils, and they're the only part of the fruit that's actually eaten. Their flavor is on the savory side, being described as kinda nutty or bean-like. What makes the ackee controversial, though, is the effects it can cause when prepared improperly. If the arils are allowed to completely ripen, they're harmless, but if you eat them too early, or don't thoroughly clean off all the non-aril stuff, they can cause Jamaican vomiting sickness.
Do you think anyone ever like took a picture of one of those and like tried to pass it off as an alien? I feel like it has happened.
It can cause Jamaican vomiting sickness. This disease doesn't sound real. It sounds like it belongs next to Eastern sweats and Tangerian bone grindings, but that's actually an official term, and as for symptoms, it does what it says on the tin. Plus maybe death. While ackee-based
Yeah, I
products
guess, like
aren't outright
pufferfish.
illegal in the United States, they are very tightly regulated, and the raw fruit itself cannot be imported. So if you're American and want to try it, your options are fully cooked canned ackee or going to Florida where a few people grow it domestically.
Of course, Florida. Of course.
Next we have bird's nest
Oh,
soup.
let's go. Also disgusting. I shouldn't be excited. But here you go. Let's be disgusted, fellas. Also, how come he's showing the real food for all of these except the cheese?
Another one that I've vaguely heard of, and for years I just assumed the name was a playful metaphor like ants on a log or shit on a shingle. Turns out, nope, this dish contains an actual bird nest. Not like a pile of twigs like I was picturing, but rather a specific type of nest only made by certain species of
so
swiftlets.
gross.
These nests are mostly made out of mucins, which are a set of proteins that, among other things, serve to thicken all those wonderful
Ditto?
secretions our bodies make.
No
There's a
way.
little bit in human saliva, a little bit more in mucus, and in swiftlet saliva, look out, pal. So all the swiftlet does is it finds a nice wall, starts laying out fat strings of slobber, which dry, and eventually she's got a nice place to roost. That is, right up until some gourmand says,
Today I crave bird spit.
Yeah, actually, like the first dude to find out you could do this, we should have just imprisoned him. Honestly, it was probably back in the day. Execute him on the spot.
You can keep the eggs though.
and they then reconstitute it back into its original gelatinous texture.
Dude.
Unfortunately, these nests can't enter the US since, believe it or not, eating bird saliva is a great way to catch bird flu. And now
Common USW.
the time has come to speak of the ortolan. The ortolan is a kind
All
of
right, so no balut. I'm surprised. For those unaware, balut is like a fertilized duck egg. So you're just eating like a duck fetus.
bunting, which is a sort of passerine, which is a type of bird. They're birds. Like many animals, they have a long history of being eaten by the French. But what separates the ortolan from your average squab or pheasant is the unique way in which it is prepared and eaten. They're typically caught with nets and kept in the dark, which causes them to overeat for some reason. Once it's about twice as fat, the entire bird is then thrown into a container of brandy.
Brother, what is wrong with the French? How do we let them rock for this long?
Alive. And sealed in.
Dude.
While this serves to marinate the creature, it also
Dude, that's actually insane.
drowns in the process, thereby killing one bird with no stones. The ortolan is then roasted, plucked, and presented whole to the consumer, who inserts the
See, if anyone like ever questions why you hate French people, there's many answers you could give. But I say this is a pretty good one. Just show them this video, timestamp at like 5:30. They'll understand.
carcass into their mouth, feet first. As they chew, one hand continues holding the bird's head, while the other picks out the larger bones.
Are you serious?
This whole ritual is usually performed with a towel or large napkin over one's head. There's a few explanations
Dude.
for the purpose of the towel. Some say it's just there
The French and their white flags. I kind of get it. Makes them feel at home.
to keep the aromas in, while others say it's there to, quote, shield from God's eyes the shame of such a decadent and disgraceful.
Why French chefs want us to eat this bird, head, bones, beaks, and all. Honestly, I was saying like how balut should be here. My bad. I was unfamiliar with your game. You got it. You win, France. The Philippines, they're nothing. They're nothing on you.
Act. Yeah, this one I'm okay with not trying, actually. Notable fans of this dish include, not joking, Bill Cosby and the guy who invented the lobotomy. To be part of that social
Cool.
club. Our mission is to eat birds whole and then make people not remember things. Killing ortolans was banned across the EU in 2007. Not for any ethical reason, but because French
Look at France.
people did this so much that the entire ortolan population was threatened. Thankfully, as of 2018, their conservation status is under least concern, so hopefully the French can get back to it soon. Anyway, that's all I have for today. Till next time, I'm Salmonella, and thank you for watching.
All right, well, there it is. Super W video. I'm a sub to this guy. Never seen him before. Go watch my video, by the way. Where are her organs?